Hello, geeks and gamers. It's Jeremy coming to you with another video, and today we are going to talk about The Last Jedi. Same thing we've been talking about for the last 2 weeks. So if you're tired of hearing about Star Wars, turn this video off and find something else to watch because you're not going to like this. So, there will be spoilers in this video. Again, if you have not seen The Last Jedi, don't know why you're watching this video, but spoilers. Now, if you have followed the videos on this channel, or if you have followed discussions with myself in our Facebook group, you have known I have been on a roller coaster with this movie. Initially watching it, walked out of the theater, really, I was like, I love this movie. I love this movie. Watched it another time, and I was like, all right, there are some problems here, and I'm still not sure how I feel about it. And then I watched it a third time, and ultimately I came to the conclusion that I liked the movie a lot. I hated Canto Bight. I thought Canto Bight was all-time terrible. And I settled on, that I was going to give it an 8 out of 10. Now, this movie is a beautiful movie. There's no doubt about it. Probably the most beautifully shot Star Wars movie. And it's a well-made movie in terms of if you're going to this movie and you're just a casual moviegoer, you're watching this movie to be entertained. It's pretty fucking entertaining. I'm not going to argue with that. But as a sequel to The Force Awakens, and as a movie that falls within the Star Wars saga that's supposed to lead us into Episode 9, this movie's fucking terrible. It's absolutely terrible, and it took me a little while to come to that conclusion, but I'm going to tell you why. Now, in the theater, there are moments that blew my mind, especially on the first viewing. The moment on Crate with Luke Skywalker and Kylo firing all of the weapons on him, and then Luke walking out of it unscathed. Amazing moment. That's Luke fucking Skywalker right there. And that, I literally teared up on my first viewing when I saw that moment. I was in awe. I was like, this is the greatest Star Wars moment of all time. And then Kylo comes down. They have a face-off on Crate. That beautiful imagery of both of them standing across from each other with their lightsabers. And I'm like, is this really happening right now? Is this really happening? This is unbelievable shit going on. Ultimately, it didn't happen because it was a goddamn projection from Luke Skywalker. And like, why? Why wouldn't you just let Luke fucking come there and do that? If he's going to die, which he died, which is bullshit, but if he's going to die, at least let him go out being there in person and actually having some type of lightsaber fight and having some type of moment. But And the whole film could have been redeemed with that. But unfortunately, it didn't happen. And I don't know why it had to go out down like that. But it's bullshit. And now Luke Skywalker's dead. So it really doesn't matter. Moving forward, we're never going to get a Luke Skywalker moment now. So our memories of Luke Skywalker is that he runs around jerking off space dinosaurs and drinking their milk. And he goes fishing. And he pretty much is not Luke Skywalker in any capacity whatsoever that we remembered. It just does not set well with me. Another scene in the theater blew my mind. The throne room scene with Kylo Ren, Snoke, and Rey. When Kylo turns that lightsaber on, goes through Snoke, uses the Force to pull that lightsaber back to him, and then Rey's arm goes up and grabs it. The music hits. Amazing moment. Mind-blowing moment. I just got chills all over my body in the theater. They go back to back. They fight, and I'm thinking, this is a moment in Star Wars history that we are going in a bold new direction, unforeseen levels here. Holy hell, I'm blown away. Kylo and Rey are going to team up, and it's going to change everything. 10 seconds later, they're back to fighting. Literally nothing in the movie changed. Nothing. We just wanted to kill Snoke for a shock value moment. Then we're going back to fighting again. Like, it was so cheap. This movie is full of such cheap bullshit, and it drives me crazy. When you see these moments, they are mind-blowing, and they are jaw-dropping. But when you start really thinking about them, and really dissecting them, and really trying to understand what does this mean for the future, and how does this complement the past, it's terrible. It's absolute garbage, and it pisses me off. There are so many other problems that I can dissect in this movie that, again, I'm taking full ownership in this. I know I said I really enjoyed this movie several times. I know that I'm flipping on that, and I will take ownership of that. The moments really caught me and really made me believe that I really loved this movie, and I wanted to love this movie, and I tried to love this movie. But the more you really start thinking about it, if you really start dissecting this movie, it is utter garbage in context of the Star Wars saga universe. So again, if it's a one-off sci-fi movie, if it's an isolated Star Wars movie that has no impact on the past or the future, then this is a fantastically entertaining Star Wars movie. The problem is it does have ramifications from the past and for the future, and for that reason, it is a garbage Star Wars movie. Absolute garbage. So yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of little things though. Canto Bite is truly and utter trash in every sense of the word. Fuck Canto Bite, fuck Rose, fuck all of that noise. That whole entire Disney wants to preach about capitalism. Disney, get the fuck out of here. Keep your politics out of my Star Wars. I don't give a shit if you lean left or right. We all know Disney leans left. I don't care if they do. I love Disney as a company. I love Disney, but I don't need you taking a stupid plot line that derails the entire movie just so you can push forward your dumb agenda. Pisses me off. That whole entire plot is complete nonsense. Purple-haired chick, feminist chick, Holden getting to have the great moment in the movie while you treat Admiral Akbar like he's just a literally nobody is complete bullshit. There's so many things. I'm not going to touch the Leia thing with her flying through space. I mean, if you can objectively say that's not cheesy, then that's on you. I said I forgive it, and I still do forgive it because it is Leia, and it was a moment that she used the Force, and it might not have been executed properly, and it might have been cheesy, but she's no longer with us, and I'm not going to dissect that portion of this movie. But yeah, overall, it just has derailed me as a Star Wars fan. So what I've been doing, because I've noticed, like, once I started really understanding how much I didn't like this movie, I had to go back and start. So I've started rewatching the Clone Wars television series. And the Clone Wars, if you have not seen the Clone Wars is fantastic. The character development is amazing. And the introduction of Ahsoka Tano, who is arguably one of, if not she's among my favorite Star Wars characters ever. I have recently purchased her book, which is narrated by Ashley Eckstein, the actress that does the portrayal, her voice portrayal in the Clone Wars. Ahsoka is fantastic. I highly recommend the Clone Wars. If you are one of these Star Wars fans that, and I've watched the Clone Wars before, but going back and watching the Clone Wars because of the gut feeling I had after The Last Jedi, where I was like, I don't like where Star Wars is at. Going back and watching the Clone Wars has really rejuvenated me as a Star Wars fan. It doesn't make me look forward to the future with what Disney's doing right now, but it does kind of make me realize why I love Star Wars. And so, regardless as to what Disney does in the future, I will always have things like the Clone Wars, the original trilogy, and the prequels. And fuck you if you don't like the prequels, because I do. But I would recommend checking that out. And I am honestly I watched season 1 of Rebels, and so after my rewatch of the Clone Wars, I will listen to the Ahsoka novel, and then I will go all the way into Rebels, and I'm looking forward to that because I've heard really good things about Rebels. But Clone Wars is fantastic. So that's my thoughts on The Last Jedi. I think it's a terrible Star Wars movie in terms of being part of the saga. I think it's an entertaining science fiction movie or science fantasy, whatever you want to call it. And if it was a standalone Star Wars movie, I think it's utterly entertaining. But it does no favors. It does nothing. It's a terrible sequel to The Force Awakens, and it's a terrible, terrible prequel to Episode 9. It's just not, it has not put Star Wars in a good place, and I think J.J. Abrams has his work cut out for him. And the good thing about this video is if you didn't like it, there's these little thumbs down buttons you can press on YouTube, and it just crushes my soul when you hit them. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do with my life when I see thumbs down. I don't care. If you don't like this video, you have that option. You can either thumbs down it or you can never watch me again. I really don't give a shit. But that's my thoughts on The Last Jedi. Let me know how much of a douchebag I am, or whatever it is that you're going to say, because usually what happens on the internet is you don't want to have any, back and forth discussions. You just want to talk shit. So talk shit, whatever. I don't care. Not looking forward to where Star Wars is going. I do have faith in J.J. Abrams. He's one of my favorite movie producers, filmmakers, writers ever. But I just don't feel good about where we're going right now. We shall see. But if you guys like this video, please give me a subscribe, us a subscribe. If you didn't like the video, the good news is I'm not the only guy associated with Geeks and Gamers. There's a lot better, smarter, more knowledgeable people, more respectful people than myself. So if you don't want to subscribe for me, subscribe for them. Check out geeksandgamers.com. Check out Geek Pulse Radio. You guys have a great day, and we'll talk to you later.